Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and we've got mainly auctions for vintage mint on card action figures. As you can see by this thumbnail, CIB, AFA, Action Figure Authority had some more amazing auctions going, mainly for these awesome mint on card Lili Ledy's. Very tough to find those mint on card, and the prices did not disappoint. I've got some other things as well. As always, thanks to my Patreon supporters. They get my videos 24 hours early access. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up. All right, let's take a look. We're going to get to these CIB items towards the end of the video, but I've got some other items. This was a great deal. Somebody got a steal of a deal, and this was a 20-back E Greedo graded CAS 85. And here is the label on it. It was labeled a clear blister. It looks like a clear blister to me, maybe a little dark, you know, on the left-hand side there. Could just be shadows, most likely just shadows. This was graded in 2021. So in theory, I guess it could have yellowed slightly since grading. If it is yellowed, it's very slight. But, you know, I don't know why this one sold so cheap. My memory of a 20-back Greedo that Chris W. over at Rogue 5 Toys on Facebook had that was also a CAS 85. I want to say it sold for over triple this price. So maybe something is going on that I don't know on this item. I didn't look too closely at the auction description, but this is a seller that very regularly sells graded and ungraded mint on cards. And he's got, you know, over 1,000 transactions, almost 1,100 transactions with 100% positive feedback. I don't know why it fell underneath the radar. I did send this to my Patreon supporters in a buy it now alert or an auction alert, auction start alert. So if you got it for $560, to me, that is a steal. I would argue at a minimum, it's probably worth $1,100 to $1,200. So really good deal on that one. This one got listed last night, and I put it on my watch list because I was like, ooh, I wouldn't mind having that. And it sold like in 5 minutes. So this was an AFA 80 41 back C offerless Walrus Man. Really nice example, though. It was punched 80, 85, 85, and it was listed for $500. I was like, if they would take $450, that would be really tempting. Not that I want to buy this. I'm just saying that it was tempting to me anyway. And it did sell immediately. And the best offer accepted, or you know, the offer accepted on this one was $450 plus shipping plus taxes. So let's call it, for me anyway, it would have been about $525, which that's a number that I'd probably pay, to be honest. It was a very, very clean example and a really good buy there. Next up was a 47-back free four-line offer, Brown Snake Yoda. So tough to find ESB card backs with the Brown Snake Yoda. There's a nice close-up there. Black Pac-Man eyes with the Brown Snake. Punched example, a little bit of card wave to it. It was graded AFA 80 with the yellowed blister, and that's really why this price was what it was, at $510 in an auction. A clear blister in this kind of condition, even with that slight card wave, I think that would have sold for closer to $1,000, if not above that number. So it does feel like the 47-back four-lam offers, those do yellow a lot easier than maybe some of the others. And so I don't know if it was a factory thing. Let's see if we can figure out the factory on this one. This one was the S for the Smile Factory. So maybe it's something about the Smile Factory for ESB card backs, but in general, four-lam offers, the 47 backs, they do tend to yellow a lot easier than maybe some of the ones that came before and some of the ones that came after, like the 48 backs. So I don't know why that is, but that does seem to be a common theme when I see 47 backs for sale on eBay. But anyway, that one did sell for $510. We got some more from that seller a little bit later on. Let's dig into the CIB auctions. Here was a 12-back Palatoy die-cast Darth Vader TIE Fighter. And none of these were super high grade, but I did want to talk about them or show them and what the sales prices were, because it's not that often that you see Palatoy mint on card die-cast. And it was a yellowed blister, as you can see there, graded DCA 75, 75, 80, 90. So two high subgrades, 405 on that one. And again, it's because of the yellowing to the blister. This one was a 12-back die-cast US card, long play logo, for the TIE Fighter graded 70 plus by DCA. That one sold for $386. Very nice example. You know, not the highest grade, but again, that's factored into the final sales price at $386. You know, in higher grade, you could probably double that. If it was an 80 or above, you could probably double that price pretty easily. The Empire Strikes Back for the same vehicle, the Imperial TIE Fighter, clear blister. It was only a DCA 50, but you got to remember that Empire Strikes Back packaging for the die-cast vehicles, particularly the Vader, you know, the Imperial TIE Fighter. I assume there's also the X-Wing. I doubt there's a land speed. I don't know. You guys can correct me in the comments if there's a land speeder on the Empire Strikes Back packaging. I would guess not. I would guess it's really just those three: the TIE Fighter, Vader Advance, and even that one is a maybe. I can't remember ever seeing one. And then Luke X-Wing is another one that I've seen on the Empire Strikes Back packaging. But these were not produced in big numbers, and the prices reflect that. So even despite the low grade, it did sell for $410, which again was higher than what the 12-back sold for, which is a little bit more plentiful and easier to find. The Slave One, yellowed blister, this was a DCA 60, and that one sold for $406. There was another one that sold, I don't know if I pulled it up for this batch of items to cover, but there was a UKG 80% that was also a yellowed blister, so higher grade, that did sell for quite a bit more. And it was like $600-700. And I don't think I pulled it up for this batch, but we'll cover that, I'm sure, in another video. But it was in much better shape than this one. DCA 60, UKG 80%, both of them yellowed blisters. And the price point was different by about $300 or $400. So $406 on that one. They had a yellowed blister Zuckuss on the 65 back C free Emperor offer. That one did have a Toys R Us price sticker, as well as it was a punched example. 75 plus on that one. $192.50, which is probably about right, just given that it was not a clear blister. We have a clear blister Zuckuss coming up, I think, later on in this batch. On to the Lili Ledys. The prices did not disappoint. You could maybe make an argument, actually, that the prices were even a little bit low for a few of them, although the grades were fairly low. This was an AFA 60 for Princess Leia in her combat poncho. So not the highest grade, but again, it's a Lili Ledy for the Mexican market. Regreso del Jedi. I mean, that's a really rare item, and I mean, the CIB and AFA, they've been pumping out some just incredible items at auction over the last couple of months, and this was just amazing to see sell. $15.75. The prune face was an AFA 50, also in kind of rough shape. You know, obviously, you can see the damage to the card back there. $12.58 on that one. The Nyan Num, that one was an AFA 75, really good shape. You know, what held it back was the litho damage from someone trying to pull off the sticker. This one was also, as I talked about in my What to Buy video, the negative card back. So tougher to find negative card back. There's something about those negative card backs that I absolutely love. It's just so unique. This and the Argentinian Top Toys card backs, those two really pop to me. And I just love the way they look. I've got one of these with a Biker Scout loose graded, and it's hard to explain. It's just one of those items that really captures the foreign market to me. So really cool item. $12.77 on that one. The Rancor Keeper was an AFA 75 with a positive card back, and that one sold for $15.36, which is a big number. That's a pretty big number for a secondary character, although it was pretty awesome. The Ben Kenobi was the biggest surprise. Maybe it shouldn't be, just given that it's a major character, but the Ben Kenobi did sell for $26.50, even though it was an AFA 60 on the positive card back. So, wow, big number. I've got a loose example for Ben Kenobi at AFA right now, probably about an 80 grade is my guess. This figure got an 85 score, and mine, I don't think mine has the very dark gray hair like this one does. I feel like my example that I sent to AFA was a little bit more rich in the face. You know, the color was more pinkish, and the hair was not nearly as dark as this dark gray example. So there's some slight variations for that particular figure. And again, that one sold for $26.50, so really big number there. Lumat on the Power of the Force card, very common item, AFA 80, but that still sold for $304, which I thought was very fair. And we talk about this all the time. Just when you're buying a Lumat Mint on card, keep in mind that The torso does discolor pretty easily, even inside the blister. This example was no exception, and that's why I got the figure score of a 75. Back to that seller that I was talking about earlier, here is his 31 back B Lando AFA 80 unpunched with a price sticker there. Clear blister. That one sold for $3.95. That was a really good deal there. And that was one I really wanted to bid on. I don't know why. I just wanted it. It looked really nice, but I did not bid on any of these. 48 back C Leia Hoth. This one obviously had a yellow blister, AFA 80, 602 on that one. Big number there. But, you know, again, if it was a clear blister, I think you can probably add $300 to $400 minimum on that one, if not more. And just a very tough item to find in high grade. And this particular card back for Leia Hoth, that you don't see that one very often, yellowed blister or not. Next up was the other one I really wanted to bid on. I did not bid on it, as I said in the comments for my what to buy video. I wanted to, though. This was the Hoth Stormtrooper on the Transition 48 back free Nyan Num offer, AFA 80. And that one sold for $510, which was actually a lot less. And side story on this one, this particular seller had some of these items, including this Hoth Stormtrooper, in a make an offer or deal or no deal type of situation on Facebook. I wasn't a member of that particular group, so I had Chris W. offer $700 for this one, and he turned it down, and he said he wanted $850 for it. And he said that, hey, I am listing it on eBay, so you can, you know, risk it if you want to in the auction, or you can pay me $850. So he probably should have taken my $700 offer, because I did offer $700 through Chris. Thank you, Chris, for coordinating that for me, but he turned it down. So after expenses, he probably made closer to $425, $430. Plus, he's got to report it to the tax authorities since he sold it on eBay. So bad choice by that seller. No offense to him. I'm just saying that's the way it goes. But I did offer $700 for it, and he turned it down, and he ended up netting, you know, closer to $420 for it. Here is that clear blister 65 back Zuckuss. I kind of alluded to that. There was a 65C that sold for about $200 from CIB, and then this one was a clear blister AFA 85 archival case, and that one sold for $390. So I thought that was a really good deal. Higher grade example, clear blister example, archival case example. So really, really good deal there for a AFA 85. And then on to some more Power of the Force items. The same seller had an AFA 80 yellow blister Barada, sort semi-unpunched, I guess, and that one had a Toys R Us price sticker that sold for $346. Wow, that is a really good deal there. AFA 85 Imperial Dignitary unpunched. That one had an archival case and sold for $440. You know, probably about right at, you know, at the lower end of an 85, I guess, for the Imperial Dignitary, but it did have pretty heavy yellowing to the blister, so I can understand why it sold for that price. And then finally was the AFA 85 Plus EV99 unpunched with just very faint yellowing to the blister. Very nice example. And that one, as a result, did sell for a big number, $860. To me, that was a very fair price, just given that it's an 85 Plus with very faint yellow. I mean, look at that. That looks almost clear blister. That's about almost as clear blister as you'll find for Power of the Force card back. So I thought that was a really good deal at $860. I mean, it wasn't a steal, right? It's $860. That's a lot of money. But it was an 85 Plus, 85, 85, 90. So a very nice example for the money. That's all I really had for this look at recent sales for mint on card action figures. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.